So what's good, YouTube family? It's your guy DJ Bless, one the best one. Thank you for watching another episode of I Smoke Hip Hop Live. Look, y'all, we gotta talk about this situation with these reporters who literally have an ulterior motives for Deion Sanders. The face that you're looking, I know the wicked face that you're looking. His name is no other than Sean Keeley. However he said Keeler. His name is Sean Keeler. I researched up on him and I found a lot of information why he's been reporting on Deion Sanders for the last year and some change, and almost every other day this man has been targeting Deion Sanders. Now let's read some of the articles and the things that he said about Deion. Now this dude, man, I thought I've seen the cake, but man, this guy gotta be the icing on the wall. So he goes to the Denver Post after being removed or leaving. I don't know if he got promoted or what, but transferring himself from several other businesses and his practice or whatever, showing the hypocrisy of how he calls out Deion, but he's also entering his transfer portal whenever it suits him to get in a better position. You see these hypocrites, but let's continue on. So this guy has been writing all these articles you see here on Deion Sanders. He's been bashing him non-stop. I mean, he's been coming at his kids, his families, and I'm going to show you research with actual receipts who this man is, so you don't act like I'm making things up, because a lot of you guys who are the stepping fetching, you really are.
It's the truth. Yeah, y'all know you clapping house niggas ain't clapping scared, but listen.
You really are scared, and that's always the case, but I'll be that man that stand on business for every single one of you guys. Regardless, I can go tit for tat, I can go scholarship upon scholarship. Let's do some scholarship. So he goes to the Denver Post, which is another failed company that allows this man to target people simply based on complexion. The complexion of protection, you can't get around that. Now, you're reading the stories he wrote about Deion Sanders. You can pause it and read it yourself. Now, he goes in deep about the situation in Colorado, but when you look at a familiar face such as Ed McCaffrey, who was praised for doing the same thing that Deion Sanders did. Ed was hired after UNC went 2-9, and then Ed McCaffrey went 3-8 for 2 years in a row. Now, this guy barely talked about it, and when he did, he was kind of like buddy because it's always sticking to code. Now, read it. He talks about Sean Lewis. You guys know Sean Lewis, but we're not going to talk about it right now. He says, this season, the Buff will try out an OC and Pat Schumer, whose only collegiate coordinating experience came halfway through last season, and who still hasn't produced a game plan that won a game for CU. Sanders is debuting a defensive coordinator this fall, which is Warren Sapp he's throwing shots at, says, who's never been a college defensive play caller. Heck, a play caller anywhere. Bro, these dudes don't hide their hands at all. Number one, Pat Schumer is a NFL aficionado. For the fact that this dude, Sean Keeler, tried to downplay Deion hiring bums, people just from the streets, when we've seen several dudes who've come from the Mayo Nation who have no experience and be lauded and praised by the same said so media in Sean Keller. Now, fast forward, he tried to throw shade at Warren Sapp because he's a coward, and the shade he threw at Warren Sapp, trying to minus the work ethic of what Warren Sapp was known to be of this Hall of Famer football player. But meanwhile, high school coaches and water boys from college are being hired as actual NFL coaches, and this guy's not calling them out. You know, one like Sean Payton of Broncos, who went through a horrible year after talking big boy, but this guy who covers all of Colorado sports, Sean Keller, he doesn't go in on that. Now, I got more information and more things out here. Let's keep going with the facts. So he writes, CU should be better. Lord help Rafi if they aren't, because this film usually doesn't end on a happy note. At some point, all sizzle and no steak leaves everybody with an empty stomach. Now, if you think I'm trying to jabber and I'm just being some Al Sharpton and Messi Jackson, no, man, we're going to keep it real and stand on right here. He does an interview where he was defending, he was defending Sean Lewis. And before I play that interview of Sean Keller defending Sean Lewis, if you guys don't remember and know who Sean Lewis Lewis is? Sean Lewis is this mug over here. He's the guy who we personally feel was the guy who gave information to a lot of reporters who knew what was going on inside the offices and premises of Boulder over there. Now, Sean Lewis was taking shots at Deion Sanders, like right here. You can see where he talked to this reporter allegedly, but we know who it was. This guy knew everything about the Sean Lewis situations. I only bring receipts. I don't bring personal information where people can tap dance around the actual elephant in the room. Now, before I get to what Deion said about Sean Lewis and all that, let's go back to what me playing Sean Keller defending Lewis, because it seems kind of funny, both their names Sean, but that's not why he defends him, because both of their names are Sean. He defends Sean Keller simply for the fact that Sean resembles him, the complexion of protection, and I stand on that. Now, here is the video of him defending Sean Lewis.
Offensive line was a struggle, and a lot of them have transferred, but was the Sean Lewis decision
they've all transferred.
Yeah.
They're all gone.
Yeah. Yeah, and for those picking them up, they're like, wait a minute, we heard about how bad their offensive line was, but was the Sean Lewis demotion, was that Shador?
It was in part. There were a lot of factors, and not all of which I can get into comfortably over the air, so to speak, and on the record, so to speak. But you can do the math, and you can do the math on both sides of the ball. And they'll deny it. They'll deny it angrily. But here's the other thing about the Sanders family. It's going to sound like a very famous political family. We're not going to get into that, but I'll just tell you probably know where you could go with this.
Offensive line was a struggle.
This man is cold, bruh. I told you, coming at a guy's family, this feels like a personal attack. This is beyond unprofessional as a journalist. And it's like, Sean, you speaks on ifs and lives. The world doesn't rotate and remove and revolve like that. Like, the nerve to say go Buffs when it's clear you're preying on Deion's downfall. You may be a Colorado, Boulder, Buffaloes fans, but where was this energy prior to Deion Sanders? You've never really supported Colorado's football team. If anybody is a fake fan, is you, because you're actually down there in Denver. You calling people bandwagon. You're not even officially from there. You've been in Iowa and all these different places that you've leave. You know, you're the number one guy who entered the transfer portal of life. We're not done with you, guy. We need you to come back and have this conversation, because a lot of people act like I'm the one who brought the racism aspect of things here.
Came here, and it'll be here when I'm going to drop dead right now. Racisms are here. It's here forever. It's in the blood, because white folks owned us, and they will never get over it, because I'm going to tell you why. I read the white book. Getting away wasn't a chapter, okay? We tricked their ass. We got away, and they ain't going to never be the same.
Never be the same again. And that's exactly who you are, Sean Keller. You remind me more of an educational purpose grand wizard. The reason why, you won't let it go. You have a personal feeling towards Deion, and I will continue showing proof. I didn't even begin this video yet. This video might go for 20 minutes or more. Let's continue and show the wicked nature of a Sean Lewis. Now, this man continued bashing the entire family right here.
Which colors are in your closet, so to speak? Look, there are some uncomfortable truths, and we haven't talked about this at length on air. It was always going to be kind of a good, but mixed bag when you hire Deion Sanders. You got to take to this and you got to take to that, and the uncomfortable truths about Coach Prime are what make people uncomfortable, but that doesn't make them any less true, and it doesn't make them any less problematic. Now, also, which colors are in your closet?
Which color? But we'll get into that later. But why would you worry about this being uncomfortable and that? It seems you're uncomfortable with his presence being in the room alone. It is about the complexion of protection, because you're always going deeper than football. And like I tell everybody on my video, this is deeper than football. It's bigger than football. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to be like, must everything be about race?
They always casing me. They do. Some little white boy the other night I was working and caught me in the hallway. Paul, I've seen your show. I love what you do, man, but you make me feel so guilty. Must everything be race? I said, yes, everything. Then you must think I'm the devil. I said, no, but you'll do till the real one gets here.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you are not one of these people who hate other people based on complexions, then fall back and let me cook in the kitchen, because you're not the one we're talking about. If it don't apply, let it fly. But the thing is, real people who don't like us, you feel insecure about what I'm speaking about because truth is cutting like a sword and it goes deep, and you feel like I'm calling you out because you have these same thoughts and these situations as far as revolving around us. Now let's fast forward. Keller, I'm not done with you, my guy. You are one of the most foulest people in this so-called field called journalism, which I doubt it you should ever be given credit for so-called journalisms. You've been writing these articles for a while now, sir. I made sure to find everything about you to show people who you are. Now, it doesn't stop here. Here is more of his history of just keep slamming Deion and Colorado's football team and his kids. Now, you see how he brings it up here. Sanders let him know you're barking up the wrong tree, because during a press conference, he tried to go back and forth and having tits for tats for no reason for Deion. And it continues. Here's what he said right here. He asked a loaded question to one of the assistants. I forgot how to say the good brother's name. Hang on. I think it was something. It was Phil Loadholt. And you can see what he said here. One of the reporters in the room, but I'm not going to even read the rest. You can see what he did here. And if you don't believe it went deeper than that, here's the second part of that article. You know what I mean? Even Coach Phil got uncomfortable with this guy's questioning, as if he was a bloodthirsty vampire looking for anything negative he can jump on and go to the leeching of attacks. Like, he gets excited to speak on Deion like that. Like, where was the energy for the Buffs for the last 19 years when they were losing? Where was this guy, Sean Keller? Now you're rejuvenated. You got a reason to ride again. You got a reason to love this field like the good old days when you diminish us to nothing but criminals and thugs, and this was the narrative. This is who you are. That's why I called you Sean, aka Grand Wizard Keller, and it's not gonna go away, sir. You were in a press conference attacking Deion. Keller tried to ask a controversial question after going back and forth with Sanders, was told to stop. You're barking up a tree that you ain't going to get up, Sanders said, so just let it go. The exchange became a viral moment with the Post top guy on the wrong end of it all. So he's the hitman for the Denver Post. All these guys are. You don't think the editor-in-chief knows these guys are being unprofessional? They're being clearly biased, but it's a point of sticking the code. These people stick the code. They use their platform as a form of weapon through propaganda to diminish what that person value really is. Now, Keller kept going. He was cheerleading for the race people who don't like us. Now, Keller is clearly auditioning to be the head cheerleader for the Deion doubters, along with a few others with a little luck. And shout out to the Mayo Nation. And I say that in a respectful way to the people who are part of the Mayo Nation, who love us and respect us and judge us fairly, because it's his own colleagues who are writing these things about him. So when even your own kind can see clearly your bias, there's no other things to say. Right here where he's bashing Shiloh, he goes deeper on it. I'm going to go a little bit fast. You guys need to pause and read them yourself. Now, over here, he's still defending Sean Lewis and trying to make it look like Deion is about to replace him with the brothers. He's mentioning Hugh Jackson, Byron Leftwich, who all are black brothers. Why would he go that route and insinuate Deion only hires black brothers? Because this dude is a coward. Even though Deion clearly hired Pat Schumer, who's part of Mayo Nation. You know what I'm saying? Pat Schumer is just a good human being, but this guy is the one who's trying to make it rage. But yet you're going to see little trolls who act like I'm the one who's making it that, because I highlight merely the fact of what it is. Now let's go to Sean Lewis a little bit, because we showed proof he was taking shots at Deion, but we want to look at Deion responding to Lewis. You know what I mean? But let's go to Shedeur first, because Keller acts like Shedeur Sanders is not a good person, but clearly right here in what I'm about to play, Shedeur Sanders is taking up for Sean Lewis.
Coach Lewis is amazing. He's something I never had before.
Hang on, I'm gonna make it loud for you guys. I got y'all.
He's something I never had before.
These are the championship moments, right?
Okay, I got y'all right now. My apologies.
With Coach Lewis is amazing. He's something I never had before.
These are the championship moments, right?
With Coach Lewis is amazing.
Right.
He's something I never had before.
These are the championship moments, right?
With Coach Lewis is amazing. He's something I never had before.
These are the championship moments, right?
With Coach Lewis
So
is
that's
amazing.
a young man who gave praise to a coach who he was grateful towards. You know what I'm saying? Based on what you guys want to believe, Shador is not LeBron James. He doesn't run anything. I'm pretty sure coaches and people ask him his opinion on things, but he is not the one who make decisions or anything like that. But let's go to Deion's response towards Sean Lewis.
From both
Yes, sir.
camera. With that, notice Tim Brewster didn't have a headset on tonight. Is he the coach that's now an analyst?
Well, yes, you got to understand now, you only get so many coaches in college football. So when you make a move like we made, that means someone has to, I don't call it demotion. I think move, everybody's making the same amount of money. So when you get demoted, that's a hit on your check. So it's a movement that we had to make. I think we use, how many tight ends in the games? So think about that. It's the proper move. You got to think about that.
You know what I'm
Yes, sir.
saying? Man, I had to laugh with Deion too. Like, Deion didn't even sugarcoat it. He told you guys right there why he did his move. What you want the man to do, bruh. The man is literally showing you what they're going through, what's going on with the situation, and y'all still don't like it, bro. And he still responded to the Sean Lewis thing because he don't hide from things like the coward that's called Sean Keller, the fake journalist. But let's
We don't
keep
do
going.
that.
Coach, a follow up on Sean Keeler, the Denver Post, to follow up on Ariel's question a little bit. What did Pat Shurmur give you in your mind that you felt to make that switch that Sean Lewis couldn't?
We're not going to demean Sean Lewis, sir. We're not going
Right.
to do that. We're not going to take that tone. Sean is a good man. I think he's a good play caller. We just needed change at the time. We just needed to
You know
try
what I'm
something.
saying? He said we just needed change at the time. I've heard that from every Mayo coach at the top level of college football, college basketball, even in the professional ranks, says we just needed to make a change. There was no other article talking about hidden agendas and motives behind it. But here lies Sean Grand Wizard Keller, who comes out with his own narrative, and you can tell it's a loaded articles, every single one of them. I've shown you guys this. I don't beat around the bush when it comes to receipts. That's the one thing. I don't call myself the king of receipts. As you're pausing and reading these other receipts, you can see them yourselves, but it speaks for itself. I'm not out here to say anything like that about the above, but you guys go reach out to Sean Keller here at his X, aka Twitter account, at his Facebook, and at his email at the Denver Post. And you know what type of emails and messages I want you guys to go say to him. We're just going to say educational purpose, but we're not done yet. I need you guys to listen more in on who's really Sean Keller, aka Grand Wizard Keller, because it doesn't end yet.
But that's nothing new.
Today, sir.
Oh, I've been banned from Boulder, but that's nothing new. No, I think it depends on which colors are in your closet, so to speak. Look, there's some Boulder, but that's nothing new.
Today, sir.
Oh, I've been banned from Boulder, but that's nothing new. No, I think it depends on which colors are in your closet, so to speak.
Just even his look. There's a full context to when he said the closet and the color, but even when you watch the full context of when you heard him said it's like, why even make it that type of analogy? And that lets you furthermore know about this guy. But you know what I'm saying? Like, when I bring these receipts, it's not to show that I'm just this professional victim. No, gang, I've said it plenty of times. We just report what's already out there. Don't get mad at me for people who look like you and you're trying to support and represent. And when a guy like me who loves everybody, regardless of Mayo or regardless of looking like me, it doesn't matter. I respect everybody. And when I call it out, others get mad. I mean, this face right here where only a mother could love lets you know everything about this gimmick over here. This dude, man, is just some of the most foulest thing you'll ever find. Man, at the end of the day, man, I speak on what I speak about. We report on real facts here. We're not coming here for emotions and all that, just straight truths, man. Look, I'm your guy, DJ Bless One, the best one. Love your family and love your kids, and please stay blessed, man. Never forget that. Peace.